lot of people think when they're shopping for a Med Advantage plan that the premium and the maximum out of pocket are the two things that should be the determining factor. And they are important. But I would say in this day and age, they are not the most important anymore. The most important is going to be your network. And I tell that to all my clients, and I train the agents we work with at Gordon Marketing to make network first and foremost. To say, what doctors do you go to? What hospital do you prefer? How many specialists do you go to? Now that's an easy fit to see if you go to these 5 doctors in this hospitals and we look at all the plans and this is the one plan that has all your doctors in it. That's easy. This is the plan we're going to recommend. It gets harder when you have one doctor in this network, one doctor in this network, one specialist in this network, and the other specialist is not in any network. Now we have to really take some consideration into how often do you see each doctor, how much are these copays, what's the likelihood of you seeing more of these certain specialists before we try to recommend what plan would be the best for you. Now the hardest one is when you don't see any doctors, and that's probably the majority of my clients. They see their family doctor once a year and they're healthy. And then they really don't care about network because since they've been so healthy for so long, they assume they're going to continue to be so healthy and it's not really going to matter. And that would be great if that were true. But insurance is about risk and how much do you want to risk? So if you do get sick and you're stuck with company X's network, you might not be as happy. So let me look at company X's network. So this is an actual network directory. I want you to see how big it is. This is a PPO plan for this year, okay? So there's hundreds and hundreds of doctors in here, and that's a nice size directory. Now you generally don't get to see this visually because they're online. Let me show you Company Y's directory. Okay, so Company Y, a little bit bigger. In network size, bigger is always better, okay? That's gonna be definitely better. Okay, now let me look at Company Z's directory. I'm not kidding. This is the directory, okay? So this is the list of doctors and hospitals and specialists you can see with Company Z versus this list with Company X. So you're not sick and you don't really care right now. But if you're going to go through the trouble to try to buy a plan, you want to buy the best plan for if you get sick for the future. And it's going to matter what the copays are, what the max amount of pocket, that's going to matter. But this is going to matter more because if you do get very sick and you have to see a lot of specialists and your life's on the line, you want access to the best doctors. And you don't want to have a constant fight to get a referral to those doctors. You don't want to have a constant fight to see if you can afford the out-of-network costs. Or if you're in an HMO where you can't go out-of-network, you might not be able to afford to save your own life, to get the best treatment because you can't afford 100% of the cost to be on out-of-network, on an HMO. So network really is where you need to start and finish when you're talking to your insurance agent about your Medicare Advantage plan. When you're looking at your Advantage plan changes every year, people look at last year and they look at this year and they see the changes and they decide if they want to stay with that plan or if they perhaps want to move to a competing plan. But they don't look at the network. They go, oh, I want to go to that competing plan because it's got free dental this year, or it's got free vision, or it's got this, or it's got this. But nobody talks about the network. And if your agent's not talking about the network, your agent's failing you. You that are watching this video, that are educating yourselves, trying to help your parents, trying to help your grandparents, your neighbors, your friends, talk about network. Look at network. You might not have a network directory like I've had to actually show you the sizes because like I said, it's online. It's harder to see that difference, but that's where you need to start and finish when you search for a new Med Advantage plan.